when talking about press, you've got to teach your guys, I believe, divider lines, so they know when to be inside leverage or outside leverage, or maybe even at times head up. But we treat the divider lines as if the ball's in the middle of the field. Divider line for an outside receiver is going to be a yard or 2 yards on top of the numbers. And so we have those guys. I try to get those guys to line up at the divider, so then when their receiver comes out and lines up, if they have to widen out, they know it's going to be a wide split to be lined up inside leverage. If their receiver comes out and they line up inside and they got to move in, they know that's going to be a cut split, so they're going to be lined up outside leverage. So as you can see in the picture here, the bottom, that's an over split, so you're going to want that left corner to be inside leverage. At the top, that's an over split, so you're going to want that corner to be inside leverage. For the outside guys, still talking about divider rules, now being ball on hash. So if you look at the left, I then teach my guys ball on hash or near you. Your divider will be the middle of the numbers. So they know if a receiver lines up inside of that, they have the freedom, depending upon whether it being like a single high defense, to line up outside leverage of that guy and work in their press technique. Whereas up top, that guy's still an over split, because the normal alignment split for a guy to the field away from the ball would be the midpoint between the hash and the numbers. And then we'll get in the slot, this next slide. Then we talk about our safeties and nickels. They have divider rules. So ball middle of field, the divider rules the midpoint between the hash and the numbers. So they're looking at, okay, is he lined up outside, or is he lined up outside the midpoint or inside the midpoint? And then from there, they're going to know to either line up inside or outside leverage. On the left here, the bottom of the screen, that safety's lining up knowing that guy has an over split, so he's going to line up inside leverage, be it he's in press or off. And then up top, that nickel's lining up on that slot receiver, and he has a cut split because he's inside the midpoint of the numbers and hash, so he'll line up outside leverage of that receiver. Ball on hash now, talking still about the number 2 guys, the slot receivers. If you look at the bottom, the normal split now for a slot receiver is going to be about 2 yards on top of the numbers. So that safety knows if he lines up outside to be inside, if he lines up inside to be outside. Up top, normal split away from ball on hash will be the hash mark. So whoever safety or nickel line up on that guy, depending upon where he is, if he's outside, he's inside. If he's inside the hash, he's outside leverage those guys. So as far as defensive back press technique, we'll always take a leverage inside, outside. Very rarely will be head up. Depends on specific types of coverages that we'll run. But we're going to try and take away a leverage. We're always going to check when we line up in press to the sideline with the referee. So as you can see, the picture on the left with the green check mark, I teach my guys to get in your press stance. Then turn your head, point to the sideline judge, and check to make sure you're on side so you don't get a flag, a meaningless flag for lining up in press. The wrong way to do it, I would say, is if you approach that line of scrimmage and then you stand up and point, and then he's going to say, oh, yeah, you're fine. But then when you get down in your stance, your head or your shoulders now may be in the neutral zone. So you always want to line up in a press stance, check with the referee, and then he'll give you the thumbs up or thumbs down to move you back.